right, welcome into Pick Central Tuesday, December 3rd. I don't hear myself, but it could be not talking into the mic.
There you go. No, the mic's
brought to you by DraftKings. The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Will LA repeat? We'll find out soon. There's sure to be rim-rattling slams and no-look passes that bring the crowd to their feet. Get behind your favorite players and prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, so we recap Monday Night Football, which is
crazy game.
Yeah, it's that's why you watch these games. I guess that's why you stream. You go into it, Broncos-Browns. We're like, what the fuck? Monday night. Can they flex this? Can they change this? Absolutely nothing really to play for. Even you have a playoff team, so you could say it's a good game with that extent. But the Broncos are one of those what's their real ceiling?
Not the most
exciting about them. They play a brand of football where it's whatever. It turns into an absolute shootout. It turns into an absolute classic. Jameis Winston gives us a perfect Jameis Winston game. You talk about textbook Jameis Winston game. That is a Jameis Winston game like you read about.
He's the most box office quarterback there is. He truly is just like a roller coaster of a quarterback. You just never know what's going to happen. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. The craziest things happen. Even the first pick six was bad. The second one obviously wasn't a good throw, but he literally catches it almost out of bounds. He's laying on the ground for 2 seconds, and Elijah Moore just gives up on the play and doesn't touch him. He runs it back for a touchdown. You drive all the way down again, throw a pick on the 1 yard line. Just Browns +6, whatever. It's an absolute all-time disgusting loss. They outgained them by hundreds of yards. Bo Nix didn't even play well. They hit that one big play to Mims. He really didn't play well at all.
That was a sick throw.
They outgained them by I have to imagine 100, 200 yards. I haven't even looked at it. I would have to.
Whoever came on the right side of betting that game was lucky. But also,
I'll let you get away with that. The Browns clearly should have covered.
Oh, I think whoever won or lost was lucky either way.
No, I disagree. I couldn't disagree more. I don't think it's.
All right. I do think that.
I just think any time with Jameis Winston, the way that game ended, the last 5 minutes, there was so many ups and downs. If you're betting that game at 6.5.
This is what happens with Jameis. He wins you the game and also loses you.
Right. I just felt like whoever walked away from that, no one.
We keep saying.
I just think to say a team's catching 6+ points now, gaining by 150.
But they also threw 2 pick sixes and threw 3
That's the point. That's fluky-ish.
Not really.
Yeah. If you showed
Jameis Winston throw interception, I literally bet it.
If you got shown
pick sixes in a game,
if you got shown Jameis Winston's stat line,
Winston.
If you got shown Jameis Winston's stat line before that game, how many points the Browns win by?
I don't know if I say that because I see 3 interceptions on there.
You have to understand this. I don't.
And also, that many yards means they're probably down.
You're betting against Jameis Winston.
But they weren't really down like that. They were down by either a couple points.
I know. It was a crazy game. That's
listen to this. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I think I understand what you're saying. It's not fluky. And when Ev is saying fluky means if you see the box score 500 yards, three interceptions, you don't think the 2 of those interceptions are pick sixes for 80 yards. Fucking got the Browns were also going to score on one of them, and he scored. And the other one was a shorter one. And then the other time they were going to score again, and he threw a pick again. And
it's hard for me to say it's really fluky when I literally bet pick six and hit.
Yes. So I think fluky is 2 pick sixes is crazy. That doesn't happen in games.
But it's also Jameis Winston. He does crazy shit.
Yeah, listen. I think the Browns definitely deserved to cover. They didn't. You won, and I think that's fair to also be I won. But
I'm going the other way. I'm saying I didn't. No one deserved to win or lose. I'm saying I didn't necessarily.
I think the Browns definitely deserved to cover.
I'm not pounding. I'm doing the opposite of pounding my chest. I'm saying
I know.
Got away with that one. But I think everyone should feel that way, or everyone should feel like no one was really in charge of that game. It was such a bizarre, crazy, wild game.
So you think if the Browns covered, you'd be like that was kind of fluky?
Oh, absolutely.
In what sense?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well,
if the Browns had covered, it would have been fluky.
They were on the right side the whole game.
I guess, but throwing 2 pick sixes, I just felt like
But even after the first one, they were still in.
The way it ended, though, to get all the way down the field like that with a minute 40.
But I mean, but even the pick, like if Elijah Moore just touches him, like the game just ends. They don't cover. Like the amount of good bounces that had to go their way was like insane to just barely cover. Like they needed every bounce imaginable. Got outgained by 150 yards. Got 9 less first downs.
But they got all the way to 2. I think that's kind of. I don't know.
But they moved the ball. Like
I guess we're arguing who's lucky or unlucky. I don't know if it's
moving the ball. When you have a 500 yards, moving the ball, I wouldn't say is fluky. Like they did it literally all night.
He made history.
No, that's true. They did.
The Browns played better. Like they were dominating the game.
The Browns
not
played
cover a
both
touchdown.
better
To
and
not
worse.
cover a touchdown was crazy after doing all they did.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Browns played literally better than the Broncos by far and worse by far. It was a weird fucking game. That's all I'm saying. You seem like you're pissed you lost. Like I'm not thinking that the win was. I'm not like putting a crown on my head. I'm doing the opposite of that.
No. It's a frustrating loss. I think it was more the notion of like it was like a coin flip that like landed on the bet.
That's how I felt about it when I left.
That's where I had the. I
It was also Bo Nix. Like Bo Nix had 2 interceptions, but they weren't pick sixes.
Right.
Like, that's where it's such the flukiness for you comes in because it's like 2 pick sixes, 1 we're still covering. That's the crazy part. Where if you even give you 1 of them, we still cover.
I completely say my win is fluky. I'm literally saying that.
I know. That's what we're just saying. It's more just like it's frustrating when you're on the side where it's like you really are. You're
on the right side.
You're on the right side.
On the right side,
and
you just
didn't
get
turn up because of crazy shit. But again, let me tell you, if you give me a 7-5 team and a 3-8 team. That was a fucking amazing
Incredible.
game. And that's a game where you're not, like, excited about really when you're watching it.
As I said, right when you walked out.
We were on the edge of our seat the last 5 minutes of that game.
It was the best
that's why
stream
we had. It's unbelievable.
I literally said it. Guys, he's going to throw an interception. And that's just, like, it's crazy that he did. But that's what you get with Jameis Winston. It was fucking awesome. And even though Bo Nix didn't play well, he still made really good throws when he needed to.
When he had to.
There was some where, like, he just threw it up to Sutton hoping for the best, which sometimes I like as a quarterback. Sometimes you let your guy go get it. And sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he didn't.
I've been critical of the NFL all year. A lot of these games haven't been really accepted. That game was a blast. Like, if every team had a Jameis Winston like that, he's so much fun to watch. He's so much fun to root for. Like, I would bet against him, and I was still pulling for him. He's just fun.
I think I said it jokingly around. He should play auto quarterback in a game. He's the quarterback for both teams.
Yeah.
My question is
everybody gets to play around him.
I'm
auto quarterback, like when you're playing in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
I'm auto quarterback. Just let him play auto.
Yeah, some team in that auto quarterback situation is gonna be like, he's still in the fucking game for our side. He fucking hates us.
Like he's rigging both sides.
What is this?
That's Jameis Winston with the Jets.
I would love that, sure.
Honestly, I would love that.
Because, like, at the end of the day, we need to lose games next year, and might as well lose in an entertaining fashion. Jameis Winston's good at that.
So we have this. From 4th to 7th in the AFC, it's all 8-win teams.
That's crazy.
You have the Texans 8-5, Chargers 8-4, Baltimore's 8-5, and Denver 8-5. So right now, Baltimore's a 6 seed.
Yeah.
Houston, I almost take Houston out of that, though, because Houston's not fighting for the same thing.
Baltimore would play Pittsburgh.
What do you mean they're not fighting Pittsburgh?
So Houston's playing for the division.
Yeah, like they're going to win the division.
But I'm saying, like, this is what I'm saying it ranked in the playoffs right now, Houston would be a 4 seed.
Correct.
And
which they're almost certain to be a 4 seed.
Yeah.
Where'd they get those pliers from?
I don't know, but I'm enjoying them. And then you'd have Pittsburgh, Baltimore, first round of the playoffs is fucking crazy.
I think Buffalo, Denver doesn't have a.
I think Baltimore being
Denver,
the 6 seed is the worst thing for anyone for the Chiefs and the Bills.
What is that?
Like the Chiefs and Bills having the Baltimore as a 6 seed. Like you just don't want Baltimore as a 6 seed.
No.
At all. Which they also could move up.
I think the Chargers are a pesky 5 too. The way they play.
They're another team. Them and them and the Broncos. I don't think I'll take like seriously in the playoffs.
I don't think I would.
Like I think they're both teams. Even you look at the Chargers this week. Like what it took. They couldn't do anything against the Falcons. It took Kirk Cousins literally saying, "Here you go, take the game over and over again." And I feel like you've kind of seen that with them. Like when they play good teams, like they don't play well. 100%. Like, they were super lucky.
I think this is
I think the Broncos are honestly kind of the same. Like I just feel like them going on the road. Like even last night, like we're talking about like going into the game, like this great defense. Like they got carved up, absolutely carved up. Like they're a team. Like I just think they're a team. Them going on the road to like Buffalo, I think they get smashed. Like I think they're catching a touchdown, they lose by like 20. Like I think they get boat raced.
Get absolutely smoked. I agree.
And that's not to like disrespect their like future ceiling.
Oh,
I just think like this season, like they're not there yet. They put massive building blocks to build, but they're not there right now.
You have two teams that last year was like, okay, the Broncos might be the worst team in the NFL. Truly, like they just look like a shithole.
It's horrible.
Everything.
It's like the clubhouse seemed to be in chaos. The locker room seemed to be chaos.
You look at the Chargers. They're trading Keenan Allen away. They're trading Mike Williams. Everyone's kind of like the Chargers look like shit. You get now. You have 8. You're 8-4, 8-5. You get a huge. I think Harbaugh should be run away with the coach of the year. I really do think that. You get a pat on the back.
For Kevin O'Connell from Minnesota.
You definitely can, but I just think Harbaugh came from such a your first year making this big of a turnaround, not even like a fucking 500 team. I just think that like what Ev's saying, you give him it's a pat on the back year, like great season. I don't think there's any chance of them being serious in the playoffs. I really don't. I know obviously there's a chance. There's always a chance, but I don't like
the only
I think the Bills and the Chiefs and I think even the Ravens are like totally The Steelers though are like a team that you never know sometimes, but I think like
they have them in a different tier than
they are a different tier. No. But I like the Chiefs and Bills are in such a different.
I think even the Chargers and Broncos fan bases know that. They know they're playing with house money.
I think
the future is really bright for both.
If you're a Broncos fan, this is a great year to build off of. Great.
I make an argument. I'd rather play with house money than like when we deal with the Yankees. House money's the best thing in the world.
Well, like the Bills. The Bills, it's Super Bowl.
Bills are now Super Bowl. Chiefs are whatever now because they've won 2 in a row. So it's like.
They play with house money.
There is house money in a different
for
way.
The Chiefs, it's house money.
Yeah, the Bills have no house money. It's this year or we're in a disaster.
I think you'd say that too about the Ravens. That the Ravens
are getting there.
The Ravens have pressure.
Ravens have pressure.
They have no
more,
more,
especially.
Yes. The Ravens are now Super Bowl.
I think all those guys have all these guys' windows until they break through and win one. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing I say all the time about Mahomes. Mahomes is going to be that much more impressive if he keeps all these guys out from winning Super Bowl.
1,000%.
Brady did the same thing to guys like Rivers. He never got because of Brady.
Yeah, but guys like Flacco went and got one against.
Peyton got a couple.
The fact that Mahomes has Lamar, Herbert, Burrow, Allen, all on his side is crazy that he's keeping that. I think that's where Rico's even saying where Stroud just got there. But I'm saying like
even the last, it's a joke. I mean, they had a joke of a year, but even the fact that they threw a monkey wrench in with. Now they sucked, but they threw a monkey wrench in with Rodgers this year. That's another
even like a lesser guy like Tua is even there. Like I know he's not a big name.
They have the best quarterbacks on that side.
You know Herbert, Bo Nix, like that's a good division.
The NFC side is like you're like looking at
Jalen,
Jared Goff, I think Jared Goff's good, but
Jalen Hurts is good.
Jalen Hurts is good, but I'm still not putting any of them in that tier.
Slim pickings after that.
Sam Darnold's the next best quarterback right now in this. I know he's not.
Jordan Love.
I know he's not, but I'm saying record-wise. I'm saying record-wise this year. You got Sam Darnold, you got Jordan Love, but also Jordan Love is his second year. It's like we're talking about a guy. I know it's his 6th year.
He's good,
but he's definitely good. But I'm saying we're talking about guys who we're like I'm putting Josh Allen like Hall of Fame already. Like you have Lamar Hall of Fame. This is crazy that he's just beating them out. If he does it this year, I don't think we should just ever talk about anything else.
A team that I think that's out there still in the mix for the division that you wouldn't want to see is the Rams.
I agree.
They got the quarterback. So, I mean, there is a team, if they get in the dance, like, you don't want to see them come to town.
Defense looks
I'm telling you, right, can we look up the odds for the Rams? Because they're making the playoffs. They're making
by the way, did the Broncos win yesterday pretty much killed the Dolphins, right? They're dead now.
Put them in a tough spot. Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much, obviously the seeding could change, but we pretty much in the AFC, I think know the teams. We know the teams.
I guess the only devil's advocate, the Colts do have 6 wins. They're not good.
They're 2 games back from the Texans,
and they're not good.
The Colts have a head-to-head game with the Broncos in 2 weeks.
I just don't. Yeah,
so
I think the Texans.
I'd be pretty plus 250.
Texans will hold that.
I'm taking the Rams plus 250 to get in. I love that. I didn't know we'd get that much. It's the only tough thing is next week. This next week is the worst week for them.
The Rams' only path though is the division.
Huh?
Rams' only path is the division.
I know.
They're only one game back. That's the thing that
their last game is against the Seahawks, so they have the Seahawks.
That might be the NBC Sunday night game, right?
It's also at home.
That'd be sick if that's like a winner
take all. That'd be awesome.
It usually comes down to that, and that's what they do.
It's almost like a bonus playoff game. It's so much fun.
So you have the Bills this week, which is obviously they could afford to lose this one, unfortunately, but
they need the Seahawks to lose.
And who the Seahawks?
Bills? You saying?
They play the Bills.
Yeah, but the Bills need to bye.
No, I'm saying the Rams can lose this game.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Because the Seahawks have the Cardinals, so that's also another one. So
Cardinals bad for the Rams, and that somebody's going to win.
But I think they would prefer.
They probably prefer the Cardinals to win.
In the Rams,
so they're both 7-6.
Why are we already putting the Commanders in the playoffs already? Like saying that
I'm not.
Because they're 2 games ahead of the next wildcard team.
They are only 1 game up in the loss column on the Bucks, Cardinals, and Rams.
Phil, I'm not putting them in there. I think the Bucks are also going to make it.
What's Washington's schedule down the way?
They have a bye.
I think the Bucks can win that division. Atlanta's pissing that.
Yeah,
Washington has
they're a bye this week.
But New Orleans, at New Orleans versus the Eagles versus the Falcons at Dallas.
So they'll win 2 of those games most likely and have 10 wins.
They should, but those are the Saints is still losable. The Eagles is obviously
they already
losable.
lost 1 game to the Cowboys.
Yeah, they already lost to the Cowboys.
Where's the Falcons game?
It's in Washington.
Okay, but it's still a losable game.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not like a.
Falcons will be fighting for their lives too.
It's not the hardest, but not like a cakewalk either.
We went over this, but
I think the advantage they have being basically a game and a half, 2 in the win, 1 in the loss.
The cakewalk is the Buccaneers for that division. Is the Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. So that's the easiest schedule you can ask for.
Yeah, Marty, I'm more if you're talking about like a reacher, not even that much of a reach. I like that one way more than the Rams, if you will.
Yeah. The Rams are tough because you have also 2 teams in your division. Like you're tied with the Cardinals. They're also, I think the Cardinals do have a tiebreaker over them right now.
Tampa's so much better with Mike Evans too.
What did the Cardinals do against the Rams? I remember that.
They smashed the Rams. Remember?
Yeah.
They won by 40. They killed them.
Okay.
It was early in the year.
The good thing is the Rams
3 or something.
The Rams beat the 49ers in a close game.
Yes. When they had nobody.
Yeah.
The Rams still
Everyone was hurt and they still beat them.
That's the thing about the Rams though. They kind of control a lot too because they still play the Cardinals and the Seahawks
back to back the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, which
that's
is
exciting.
Awesome.
So that's why I said that you almost can't say they're dead because they got an opportunity to knock 2 off right there, and if things you just got to keep the train on the tracks till then basically.
Yeah.
If they do lose this game this week, though, that
it hurts. I mean, obviously it hurts.
It hurts, but it doesn't take them out.
No,
because they still have.
Doesn't kill them, but that's a wound.
But they have winnable games after that, which is.
They really need the Seahawks to lose. They need the Cardinals to win.
It's at Rams
to keep things kind of in balance.
It's at Rams. At least that helps. At Rams helps.
Yeah, both those last 2 games, right?
Rams playing in the snow would have been a disaster.
Yeah,
2 divisional home games to end it.
2 divisional home games to end it. Cardinals, Seahawks. That is big.
Plus 250. That's not a bad flyer.
It's not a bad flyer. No.
And especially Phil, it's honestly a worthy point with the Commanders. If they drop a couple all of a sudden, you might have a couple avenues there.
Yeah, I think the Niners are dead too, right?
I think Niners are dead.
You got rid of one of them, so
I think Niners are just
out
toast.
Niners are dead.
The little musical chairs. There's only 3 teams left.
What do you rule the Niners year bad breaks or just year from hell? Because I just think I think
it's a combination.
I think Super Bowl hangover, to a degree. They
combo of a little bit of all of it.
Window's closed.
Officially?
Yeah. I think the window is donezo. I think everyone's caught up. I think that they've caught on to their – because you can say year from hell, right? Jordan Mason played great. Jordan Mason put up numbers where if you look at the numbers were better than – he actually had better numbers than when McCaffrey came back. Seriously. I looked into that because I was like, is it a McCaffrey thing? Debo gets hurt every single year. Ayuk is also now coming back from a gruesome injury. And I think they've figured out the 49ers. Brock Purdy was not great this year. I don't know. I think the window is kind of – I don't know if it's completely closed, but it's pretty fucking close.
It's a little bit everything. I think the –
Yeah, also Purdy's not –
You all right?
Yeah.
You fucking hammered that thing.
I hammered it quick.
I would say I think this run they've had just going all these deep playoff runs, all the injuries this year. Also this year, if you even look at kind of how some of their games went, if you remember, I think it was Rams and Cardinals. They lost brutal fourth quarter games that they had it's their fault. They fucked it up. but they definitely had some balls bounce against them. I think it's kind of a little bit of everything. Because even this year, I almost feel like could have been like those couple that really were. I mean, the Cardinals one was like really bad. They lost, and honestly, the Rams one was bad too.
Yeah,
that they like. I think they were up like either a touchdown or like more like in the last like 5 minutes and basically found a way to blow it.
This 49ers run makes what the Bills did in the 90s, going to 4 straight Super Bowls, look even more impressive.
Well, I will say there's a little caveat there. Those AFC was very weak.
But you still got it.
It was impressive. It was impressive as hell. Believe me, it was. Even in the moment, we're like, this is wild. But that AFC was very weak.
That's a decent tangent. Like, what are some of the things that jump out, or like we just take for granted? Like, yeah, the Bills made 4 Super Bowls in a row. Do we take that for granted? The fact that the Braves won the division 14 years in a row. Do we just take that for granted?
I mean, even
look some things in sports you just take for granted.
I mean, even like when you looked at the stats since 2009 in the AFC East, it's just been the Patriots, and then now it's been the Bills for 5 years. Like, it's really like very consistent, and I think that's crazy. Where it's like. How is not ever like how are the Jets not? I'm not even trying to like since 2003, I think they won.
Yeah.
They haven't won since 2003. I don't know how I remembered that one, but
especially in a
they haven't won since then. And the Jets also haven't been like they've had some good rosters.
Football has such parity. Football has such parity that like you saw it in the NFC East.
Yes.
They just alternate every year. How does that division alternate every single year? And the AFC East is dominant for 20 years.
I know.
Like, granted, they had Brady, but like nobody picks them off one year. The Patriots didn't have a year from hell like the 49ers. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
they did. Tom Brady got hurt week 1.
Yeah, Matt Castle year.
11
they still went like 10-5.
11-5, but didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm just saying. No, I mean,
I know what you
mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. But yeah, it's crazy. It really is. But this year is like it's honestly insane how much better the AFC is than the NFC.
Yeah, at this point,
not at the top because the Lions and the Eagles, I do think match up pretty well against the Bills and the Chiefs. Like those 4 teams right there.
I even think the Packers could too.
I think Green Bay's.
I'm
not ruling them out, but the Packers
hold their own with like really anybody.
Green Bay's a nice story.
I think the Packers would be a playoff team in the
story.
AFC, right?
I think they absolutely
I think so too.
I think they're 8-3. Like
I think that if you're looking at like this season, I think that you're still not like the Packers are like the Lions have been so impressive. The Eagles have been very impressive. That win against the Ravens, very impressive. Chiefs haven't been impressive, but you just don't rule them out. Bills, very impressive. Because the Ravens and the Packers almost remind me of each other, where it's like they should have won more games than they're at right now.
But I think the Ravens. I feel like that's a little. The Ravens have dropped more. Like the Ravens lost to the Raiders. Like the Packers. The Packers losses, I believe, are to the Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles.
They're also 9-3. They have one less win than the Bills. They have a lot of wins.
But I'm saying the Packers literally their 3 losses
to be honest,
are to like 11-1, like 10-2, and like
we're gonna see it this Thursday though. You know, like we're gonna.
And they
see
all were close.
Why, what's Thursday?
Packers Lions.
Okay, yeah.
Huge game.
Which is also
great Thursday
bullshit.
night.
I didn't know that lined up.
That's a
bullshit
great
for
game.
the Lions and the Packers.
Why?
I think getting.
No, they played on Thursday.
No, I think getting
get a normal week.
Yes, but I think getting 2 Thursday night games, like they don't like that. Like football guys.
But I think
Jared Goff even talked about saying
this is the best possible
this
situation.
is the best Thursday night scenario you can get.
But no, but you want it. Yeah, but you want that extra rest. Like
you'll get it this week.
But you got a normal week and then you get extra rest.
Yeah, but usually when you play, no one usually gets back-to-back Thursday games.
I know, but it's a weird situation with Thanksgiving.
I understand, but I'm just saying it's bullshit for them.
weird.
Where they get usually you get the Thursday. You get rewarded with extra rest.
Yeah.
The past few years, Thursday night game after Thanksgiving has always been teams that have played on Thursday night football.
So I was gonna say they usually they try to work it out, like try to do it like that.
I'm just saying I think it's still like I just make this Sunday night. You know,
they just hate Thursday night games. Like players don't like Thursday. Period.
No, they hate it. But
I do think this is the best case scenario. You can kind of like shuffle it in.
I'm actually
normal rest.
I'm starting to think they need 2 buys.
They did back in the day.
I think there should be a later.
It was one season they did it in the 90s.
I think there should be a later season buy. I really do.
College football basically does now.
I know. I think they deserve.
Tried it for I think just 1 year, and
if they added 18, they would have to do 2 buys. If they added that like 18th game,
which they are 100.
Yeah, they're going to.
They want to make the Super Bowl on the day before President's Day. They 100% want to do that. Make a weekend out.
They want to also.
The whole world
they
is
want to have
off.
an 18-game schedule very badly.
Yeah, the whole world is off. They 100% want to do that.
If you do that, you have to have the 2.
That one they definitely would do too. They would have to.
You guys ever watch Ballers?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just kind of funny. Like I was rewatching it a little bit because it's one of the worst but best shows of all time. they're like talking about all of this stuff. Like they're moving, and during the show, they're moving the Raiders to the Vegas. They're talking about the 18-game schedule. Like they literally are talking about all this, and it's like it's gonna happen 100%. Because one, they're gonna make so much more money, but that's where I think you have to implement a second bye. If you're making these guys,
who would love a second bye? The networks. It means they have an extra week of football, and so that wouldn't be a hard sell.
100%.
What do you think is worse, having a bye in week, say, 5 or a bye in week 14?
If you only get one,
Yeah.
I think both are equally as bad.
5. I think 5's bad.
I think 5's bad, especially if you're a team with playoff hopes.
You're fresh.
Because you want to rest up for the playoffs.
It's crazy how many teams
go
have a bye this
13
week. It feels like
I know.
Ravens. I know. Like,
Ravens have a bye. Commanders have a bye. I think maybe 2 more teams.
and
have
this
a
is
bye.
not
Patriots,
it's not a fantasy show.
Add it to the win column.
But like it's the last week of the season in fantasy, and you got like great players out.
It's brutal.
And I'm like trying to fight for my last. I don't want to be the last place.
Yeah, if you have Jonathan Taylor fighting for a playoff spot, you're fucked.
I have Jonathan Taylor and I have Zay
Your
Flowers.
team is horrifically horrible this year in our league.
Our league, yes.
Yeah, just wondering.
Horrible.
What happened?
I have no. My guy. I did get guys hurt. That did hurt. But terrible.
Going with the NFC, Green Bay is a nice story. I think Minnesota's a nice story. Washington's a nice story. But, like, do we really just want
Green Bay's not a nice story. That's just
they were
It's legitimately a good team.
They're a good
I
team.
don't know what you just threw some shit out right there.
You just patronized the Packers.
Yeah, that was
They're a nice story, that little Green Bay team.
Patted the Packers on the head. They won a playoff
You were gonna
game
get
last
away
year.
with that too.
If Big Cat heard that, he'd kill you.
They honestly they should have beaten
Oh,
the
it's
Niners.
nice,
They should
little
have been
story from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Do we just want
The fans own the team.
Do you find yourself just wanting Eagles Lions in
Yes.
the NFC Championship game?
I do.
I think AFC.
Kind of.
I could see myself talking myself into. If Denver made a miracle run, I'd be like, "That's pretty cool."
Yuck. No.
I'm with you though. I'm with you.
Bo Nix makes a run. I don't
think
want.
you could say
it's
it's
not my
cool.
first pick, but if Bo Nix makes a run with that Sean Payton team, you'd be like, "That makes sense."
No, but Green
Great
Bay in the
coach.
conference game is more exciting to me than Denver in the AFC.
No, I'm just saying. I
would
think the
agree.
way it's lining up with how good Philly's been down the run here and how good Detroit is, I think Detroit Philly is like a good.
Oh, I agree.
Fucking
Well,
great.
that's the
NFC.
dream. I
what
think
we
that's the
want.
dream.
Yeah.
Completely
That's the
agree.
dream matchup.
What about I like storylines. Lions Rams I really enjoyed last year. Not saying that'd be the best game, but Matt Stafford going into like Detroit with this
Again.
probably his last run in a Super Bowl realistically on the line. Like I think that's a very cool storyline. I'd be very intrigued in that. Not saying that's happening. They have to make the playoffs.
It was a great
but-
game last year
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Not only to make the playoffs, they have to probably make it to the second round just to get.
That's what I was gonna
The
say.
Lions, I think the Lions
win.
getting a bye.
They'd have to win,
In theory.
which I think if
I mean,
I
the
guess it would depend how it played out.
Eagles
for
right
them.
there, I guess.
If the Eagles get the 1 seed,
Yeah.
which I think could happen
It could happen. Oh, of course it could.
100%. We broke down the schedules yesterday. Like the Detroit Lions
on
have a
this
tough-
show.
Yeah.
We talked schedules?
We talked schedules.
We should just name this schedules. We love schedules.
I think Bosco should just have a weekly show called Schedules.
Schedule Central.
honestly though, like it's so addicting.
It makes sense when you look at how you're breaking down teams in a
Bosco,
race, though.
I'll shit on you for a lot of things. This one, I love schedules. I know yesterday, I read the Rams schedule. I read the Bucs schedule. I did it again today. We all loved it.
Yeah, we do. I even love baseball.
I
schedules.
see.
love
I
all
don't.
schedules.
I hate it early in the year. I don't mind like
Now
the
it's
last
good.
4.
Now it's
like
good.
now because now you know what the teams kind of are, and there's like 4 games right off. I hate when because
It's still fun in the beginning, though. It's more valuable now.
I hate it in the beginning.
Oh, no.
I love
it's
it.
become because to me it's always you just don't know what the team's gonna be.
Still looking for the Falcons' first loss of the season.
Yeah. Like I'm sure.
we're out on I'm gonna trash the
because I'm sure we
Falcons
would
No,
have did the
I'm still on the Falcons.
we would have did the Vikings one in the beginning and been like, oh, this team like they're 6.
We think we said
Am I the last
I think
guy?
we
Are you still on the Falcons, or are you out too?
in what regard? Like,
Like they're making the playoffs. Are you rooting for them in
oh,
this?
no. I'll root for them to make the playoffs. I just don't. Realistically, I don't think they
they're
can
gonna do
really like do anything in the playoffs like significant.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I think they're a team that a wild card team would love to go to Atlanta in the first round.
They're good in Atlanta, though.
But I think as opposed to playing like
I know.
it's a
Like,
dream.
like the Eagles or whatever.
like playing the
somebody
Eagles
else to
or-
go to Atlanta is a dream. Speaking
Also,
of
it's just tough because like Minnesota and Pitts and the Packers are like those are both. Like,
Legitimately good.
they'd be winning like all the other divisions besides the Eagles.
Can I say something about the Falcons really quick? I think it's setting up nicely. I'm a Kirko guy. Think he might be washed, or at least the last couple.
That
of
was a
games.
tough
It's
game.
Tough
Really
game.
tough game.
It is setting up nicely for an older rookie quarterback who could make an immediate impact to come in and inject life into this team.
I also
a guy that is.
And I'm not even the biggest Penix guy.
A guy that's been pounding the pavement for
But
Michael
I think he
Penix,
comes in and he's like, I think that older quarterbacks that are rookies come, like exactly what I say about Bo Nix. Like, I think older age as a rookie plays a factor.
Sure.
I think he could definitely inject life into this team.
1,000%. But I do want to say one thing when we were talking at the beginning of the year. Like, you got to stop giving 36 to 40-year-olds that tore their Achilles the year before money. That much money. Like, it's not easy to come back from.
Right.
Especially, like, Rodgers is definitely one because he does throw on the – he's good at throwing on the run. Kirk Cousins isn't as much, but, like, it's still, like, the leg you're planting your foot on. Like, you're still not trusting your Achilles to, like, you went through it. That's a traumatic thing. You were popping that shit, you know? And both of them have not looked the same at all. But they all were so happy how fast they got back. You know what I mean?
Kirk Cousins, by the way, leading the NFL in interceptions.
He also didn't look. It really was the last 3 weeks.
13.
No, he had a nice stretch there.
The first week was
poorly
a little,
early.
like,
Then he started playing really well, and then
Yeah.
this last month he's played bad.
But it's also like we're not used to Kirk Cousins like ever playing that bad.
No, just bad.
No,
Like,
not
yeah.
that bad.
You
not
don't,
that bad.
Because you always expect him to be like. That's my argument for Kirk Cousins throughout these entire years. It's like his floor is so high.
That one pick he threw out of it, like where he just floated it.
God.
I was like, what is this guy doing?
It looked like
He just floated it into quadruple coverage. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this guy?
Not to belabor this
That was
point, but
unfathomable.
he has 13 interceptions this year. His career high is 14.
Ugh.
That shows you how, you know what I mean? With this many games left in the schedule, he's just not the same guy.
No, that's not.
And another Pitt's goose egg as well.
Yeah, that's not a stat you want. Speaking of things you do want, Ev, why don't you tell them about Omaha Steaks?
God, Bosco, I love Omaha Steaks.
I want one right
Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. It's guaranteed perfection every single bite. And right now, you can save on unforgettable gifts with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, score an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS, P-I-C-K-S. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages featuring gourmet favorites. Like I said, you get that white box come in. You got steaks, burgers, all kinds of meats, desserts. Like I said, from legendary steaks to mouth-watering desserts and more. Save 50% off site-wide for a limited time at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners exclusive, an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. That's 50% off OMAHA steaks.com, an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. Minimum purchase may apply. I love Omaha Steaks so much.
Medium rare?
Medium rare.
Medium rare, yeah, at a steakhouse.
I'm now medium rare at a steakhouse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to whoever sold this. I want to cook steaks for the fellas.
I would love
I
that.
would
Because
love
you know
that.
what?
I'll tell
I've
you,
been
incredible
really,
burgers, too.
I've been really taking
Even good hot dogs,
some,
too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been taking a liking. I've been making steak tacos with filet mignon.
Oh.
But I'll just make a steak for the fellas. I've been really
Really? Ooh, I like that.
sear on the side, do some nice things. I'd like to do it for the fellas one day.
I'm sending no joke. So I'm going to Arizona and visiting some family out there. I'm not going to see my parents for Christmas or my wife's parents, but we're gonna Omaha Steaks will be going to their house.
Yeah, it's a great
It's a
gift.
great. If you're not there, it's a great.
Great gift.
What is a gift you've gotten your dad ever when he was like, I love this? I think I've gotten twice in my life where he's like, and even myself, there's guys don't like, there's no jewelry
every year,
much.
what do you want for Christmas? Yeah.
Like, this is like, really got me this. I'm like, this was insane. Like, that's a beautiful gift. I loved that. But like, you're not going to get your dad a fucking watch, you know?
Oh, something
loves meat.
something they're going to use, something they're going to enjoy. Meat.
Loves meat.
I also
Good
find
meat and quality meat. Like that's fun to cook.
I find myself wanting gifts where I find it not an annoyance, but like it sucks. You got to pay for it. You go to the grocery store and you or socks. Like you need socks, but you don't want to pay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. So meat. So you go to the grocery store and you look and you're choosing between whatever. It's not the best cuts. You're getting whatever they put
Right.
out. Like Omaha, it'd be all right. Hold on a second. I just got a bunch of meals that I don't have to pay for. This is a fucking great.
1,000.
It's like good high quality meats.
great gift.
You get excited
Win.
to cook it.
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
That's why I love when like there's sponsors like that where you're like actually excited about it.
That
'cause you're like,
I've actually used my personal
Yeah.
before. It's the best.
Yeah. And again, their slogan should be even Frank the Tank's tasted good.
Yeah.
Because that was good and I was nervous about
His
that.
face in the box.
Yeah.
Anything else to unpack on the NFL, like big picture?
I have one thing about the Niners. Just real quick
Sure.
to tie that up. Like I think it proved how much that offense really relied on Christian McCaffrey. Because you're right, Marty. Like Jordan Mason did play really well, but he still wasn't McCaffrey last year. And like you take McCaffrey out of the picture.
Well, though.
He was very good, but he wasn't McCaffrey last year.
Yeah.
And they almost need that to win. That's why I kind of lean on what you're saying. I think that window might be closed.
But also,
or very smaller now.
I will say Debo is not a 1. So like the problem is they use him in different ways. He's not a guy who can take over the game by himself. Like Ayuk is the 1 on that team. I believe so. You think I'm wrong?
No, I think you're right.
I think they just need to
still a 1,
they need to like reshuffle a little bit.
Brock Purdy also took a step back.
I think he's taking a step.
How can you?
Because what are you don't know what's better out there.
Yeah, what do you do?
The problem is with the NFL. Like Purdy is a nice quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He can get you to the Super Bowl. You don't know what else. And especially you have a team, a roster that's built to win now. They still are, like, if everything went right.
Definitely.
The contract's going to fuck.
That's what I'm saying. When is that? Is that this year?
I think so.
I
don't think he's had as bad of a year.
I don't think
he's that bad.
You just don't know what else is out there.
That's the problem.
You watch some of these teams.
He's getting paid $800,000 right now. You know, like, are you going to pay $40 million a year for him?
No.
Well, I think the problem is too. Like they need to.
That's the number, I think.
Yeah, at least they need to reshape the O-line. Like Trent Williams is getting older. I think they give him an extension, but they still need to like.
He's 37 years old.
I think the other side of like the rest of the offensive line they need to fix.
They'll never do it, but like that's a perfect landing spot for Jameis to finally have like a roster around them.
Where?
They wouldn't do that.
Never do it. Never do it. But like we're rooting for Jameis to be like, why can't he just?
Kyle Shanahan would pull his hair out.
It's like why can't he have a break of a roster that's built to win now? That would be fun to watch him like. In a Super Bowl.
So I think they've tried to say where like Jennings has had a big year, like he's come on, like Ayuk got hurt early in the year, at least, so they should get him back like earlier in next season. So I'm curious. I just think they have still a lot there that I wouldn't be ready to just like punt their window. But obviously this year was like it's like tough. Like they gotta figure some shit out this offseason.
Do you think Kyle Shanahan's on the hot seat?
I hope so.
No,
I would.
No,
I just
at all.
Wishful thinking for me, obviously. And
I think he'd have to have another like 2 of these years to be canned.
Wait, Brock Purdy last year 31 touchdowns. This year 13.
Yeah,
it tells the whole story right there.
100%.
I think with San Fran though, I guess is
I don't hate him either. Like I don't either.
I mean, do you just think no? I mean, basically no Ayuk. Basically, no McCaffrey, or when you did, it was like only
wasn't
a
a
few games.
shell of himself.
And also,
yeah, like Debo was hurt a lot. Like
played well this year.
Like even Williams was hurt. Some like Kittle was hurt. Some like this loaded offense you had. They really never at any point were all on the field together this year.
And he's not good enough to override that.
No, he needs them. Like I think he's.
It's not even an insult.
He's a solid player, but he just can't. He's not.
Look at that drop off.
He's not Mahomes. Like he can't get out there and do it himself. Like
the thing with the NFC though is like you look at these teams. How many would you say?
He's still taking care of the ball.
He's still a good quarterback.
How many of these teams would you say truly have a bright future?
Yeah, like I don't think that's that bad. I don't think that's that bad of a season. I think.
I mean, he went from having a 7% touchdown rate to 4%.
His QBR is still top 10. His rating's 94.8. Like it's like definitely down, but especially with what he's missing compared to like who he was surrounded by in his first 2 years.
But this is the problem, though. He's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback, that's no insult. But like, can good quarterbacks win you a Super Bowl?
I think I'd rather have Drake May.
Well, we were doing so well today. We're having such a actually.
Let me ask
today felt like a sports show. It felt a good show.
People are probably gonna think I said that. That wasn't.
Yeah,
it was.
No, he's trying to get you.
How many?
And I would.
How many of these playoff teams?
Honestly, I would too.
How many of these?
I would too.
Like long term, I would for sure.
I don't know.
All right, move on.
Yes.
How many of these playoff teams in the NFC truly have a bright future? Now, I think just be careful. Like, bear with me here. Detroit is built to win, but you look at Goff; he's on the tail end of his career. So it's not necessarily. I'm saying an emerging.
What's the future mean to you?
An emerging star. How many years does Goff have left? He's built to win.
8.
I'd say 4 to 5.
I would say like 3 to 5 of like peak years.
8.
He's 30 years old.
Of peak? 8? Not 8.
I mean, quarterbacks go to. How old is Aaron Rodgers?
Really
4 or
do.
5.
Aaron Rodgers is the exception.
He's got 4 or 5 like strong
Also,
years.
the way
I agree. 3 to 5
the way
like
they play,
peak years.
Goff ain't getting hit.
So maybe Detroit does have a bright future.
They also
quarterbacks are still getting hit a lot now.
If you think about their like young core players, like Penei Sewell, like in his 20s. St. Brown's in his 20s. Gibbs, Jamison Williams.
Young 20s.
Even like Taylor Decker, who's been there a long time. He's probably like in his early
How old
30s
St. Brown?
at worst.
24, 25?
Yeah, probably 25, 26, I'd guess. Even on the defense, like McNeil, Branch.
25.
Like all these dudes, like so many of their loaded defense.
Gibbs is 22. Montgomery's 27, but Gibbs is only 22.
That's what I'm saying. Like their defense guys, McNeil's
Williams
young.
is 23. Porter's 23.
Branch is young. That's what I'm saying. Like their roster's young and talented.
I would say that the Lions absolutely have a bright future.
Philly has a bright future
For sure.
with Hurts at the helm.
Sure.
Washington has one with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And new
1
ownership.
year and you could whatever.
And the new ownership is
But
huge.
They
Seattle,
got a ton of money too.
Yes.
Seattle is like they are what they are with Geno Smith. Like he's not necessarily.
I
Getting
think
any
I
younger.
think Seattle stays the exact same.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Green Bay, I think, has a bright future with
Yes.
Love, obviously.
Yep.
Atlanta, no. And Minnesota,
Atlanta's very
Penix?
Penix dependent.
depends on the Penix, yeah.
But also, Bijan's 23, 24. Pitts, who knows what the fuck that guy ever does.
Yeah, London's still young.
London's good.
Yeah, I guess
Darnell
that's my
Mooney's
case.
pretty good.
I guess that's my case with San Fran. Like, they could stay in the picture with Purdy there.
They
You know what
definitely
I
can.
mean?
They
Yeah,
definitely can. That's why I don't think it's close, but like I think the Lions right now are light years better than them.
Better than the Falcons?
No, than the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Right now.
You have to say that.
Yeah,
I
because,
can't.
like, even like, and it wasn't like they were hurt all year, but like even when they were on the field, I know it's still like a couple games. It wasn't the same 49ers, and sometimes these teams catch up to like what they're doing. You know, like that happens to teams.
On the other side, Ayuk's 26, Debo's 28, Kittle's 31.
Debo literally gets hurt every game.
McCaffrey might as well be 100.
McCaffrey is like worked.
That's the issue.
McCaffrey didn't
His
even
body's breaking
he
down.
didn't get hurt last year, right?
No, he didn't get
And-
hurt the last 2 years, right?
And he didn't get hurt last year. He didn't start the season because he has arthritis in both feet, which is brutal.
Yeah, he didn't get the last 2 seasons. He didn't get hurt.
And then he he got hit a little bit in that one little thing, and he's done. He's on the IR.
The knee injury. It was his
hurts.
knee.
Like he's just breaking down.
Yeah,
And it's also partially
28-year-old running back.
he fucking also does everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just a running back. He does literally everything for them. And Debo, I think you look at every year he gets hurt.
All right, let's switch gears to maybe the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Ev called it electric last night, but this golden at bat rule in baseball.
Well, it's like I'm like joking when I say that. I mean,
Ev,
it would be like it would be like electric, but I'm like at the same time I don't.
It's the dumbest thing.
I would not want it like. I'm being serious. I wouldn't want to implement it in like the day-to-day game.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
but just
It's
the
just conversation.
But just
But
the
why
thought, just
float
the,
that?
just
Like,
the
if
thought of
Get
it's
people
like
talk about
exciting.
baseball in December.
Yeah, I guess.
The thought of it's
Also,
exciting.
You have to
It would be
think about
insane to
this.
just be like, you know what, like Soto, you're up, pal. Like get up again.
You're a business.
Like, it would be wild to just like pull out that like your mulligan card.
Kinda
almost.
sick.
Yeah, I want it.
I kind of like, but
It'd
like
be- it'd
you
be
have people
funny.
like Dukes, which is
Dude doesn't really like baseball.
yes, but he'll watch that.
Really?
They have
After
you.
the season
How
been
would
in
you
place for
know it?
2
You get,
years,
you
would
get
he?
an alert that it's going to happen, or you're going to watch a game because that could potentially
Yeah.
happen?
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
they could.
If I see
think
Frank
Will's
saying,
turn.
Bad alert! Golden bad alert!
These are good ideas.
if I see Frank start freaking out on Twitter, being like they're gonna use the fucking golden bat.
Here comes the golden bat.
Let me ask
When
you
I
a
was thinking about
question.
Frank and someone using it against the Mets in the playoffs, I was like, yeah, I need this.
Let me ask you a question. We have
Someone
four
hits like a home run to tie it, and then a home run to win it.
I don't run to win.
Like
You
the
know that
same
would happen.
player. He hits a home run, he trots around, he just picks up his bat at home plate again.
That guy Christmas.
Soto again. Yeah.
Soto, go ahead, rip another one.
Because could you imagine like you're down 2 and you got that guy like Christmas up to bat against
Yeah.
like a reliever that's just like has a dead arm and he just Frank's like,
Duke loves
Christmas.
I would add a
Frank's
caveat.
one and then you're
One
just like
home run.
Christmas, you're going back up again. Bang,
I
another
would add
one.
a caveat. You cannot intentionally walk the guy in the second at bat.
No, yeah, you have to pitch to him.
You have to pitch.
You
to him.
have
Yeah.
to pitch.
So let me ask you a question, though. Seriously, serious conversation. We have 5 schmucks on this show that will watch baseball no matter what they do. If they take away everything, we're going to watch it. We love baseball,
Of course.
right? It's a business. They have been changing things for the better, I think. I think the DH for the
disagree
NL
with that.
was I know you do because you're a purist and you love baseball.
I like that strategy
but
better.
the fact that
Pitch clock is great.
the pitch clock is amazing.
I don't like the extra inning stuff.
I actually like the extra inning stuff because they don't implement it into the playoffs, so it makes the season a little more exciting. I'm okay with that, which is why I think college football should stop the 2-point conversion in the playoffs. I think they can keep doing the thing. Different conversation. They're making things where it's like, oh, the pitcher can't just pitch to one batter anymore. They have to pitch.
I like that.
I like that. They're doing things that I'm liking. This is an extreme one. You know, like I don't think they're gonna do it. I wouldn't like it personally, but it's also like you do. Ratings are fine, I think, right? Like I don't like compared to
Especially compared to the drop off we've seen in the NBA,
Yeah,
and the NHL the last couple of years.
think
Baseball is actually doing pretty
baseball
well.
might be second.
if you go by TV ratings now, especially with this last year, it is.
And they're trying.
Baseball got benefit of having a World Series of Yankees-Dodgers. To be fair,
helped. But they also had a shitty one the year before.
Yeah, which
We also had an NBA Finals with the Celtics. Like that was a huge draw.
That's true.
Yeah, but it was also
not
like
Dodgers,
Yankees. It was kind of an
And
easy.
Boston
also,
and
like,
Dallas is two huge markets.
Yeah,
Dallas isn't a
though.
basketball city.
The NBA is in not trouble, but
No, they're in trouble.
they might. We're starting to get there.
I think
That clip. The
Well,
other
they're
day-
they're too social. Not like they're like too social media driven in terms of like the way they're consumed.
100%.
Like that's the argument that me and Clemmer have had, where I think more people sit down and watch their teams in baseball every day.
Yes.
Like I think there's more consistent. Like for example, like a Mets fan. There's more consistent Mets fans that they sit there, watch, do it at 7 p.m. They're on their couch, they're watching the game. I think there's more of that in baseball. But I think like the sport of basketball is great because it's so big, like worldwide too, and the stars
Baseball too.
The stars are such massive stars, but basketball stars are they're a different level of stardom. I think even more than football, way more than football.
But yeah, because football, they wear helmets hard.
The top 20, 30 basketball players, they're so fucking big and famous, and they just drive so much just clips and views. And I think NBA's become too highlight driven. And almost too star driven in a way where I think it's helped to benefit them in some ways, but I think it's hurt sitting down every day and just watching the I don't know, whoever, the Suns.
Yeah.
You sit down, you know what I mean? I think they've lost some of that element of it and gained more, where I think baseball has consistently kept those same people home. Now I wonder how that'll change over the next 30 years, because baseball is an older demographic compared at least to basketball.
It's not
Compared to basketball, I think it definitely
It
is.
is a little older, but not baseball has an old demographic, but baseball is starting to get a little bit younger. And the other thing
They're
too,
doing the right thing.
Because they are doing some right things. I think their young stars are coming. I
the
think
NBA product right now is not fun to watch.
The regular season they've lost.
All these threes and baseball was in the same boat 10 years ago. When baseball was having those 4-hour games, that was not a fun product to watch. I love baseball, I'll watch it, but it was horrible. Basketball right now is not a fun product to watch.
The regular season's bad.
It's bad.
It's just bad. It's just not you just don't. It's almost too long. They almost should make it shorter.
Really long.
They'll never do it.
And all the
games
threes
don't
suck.
mean enough.
And it's just I like when there was more of an inside game.
That clip of the Suns Lakers the other day that's going viral. It was Tuesday before Thanksgiving, the NBA Cup, which is great. Obviously, check it out via DraftKings. But that was just a bad men's league game. That's what that was. I've reffed those games. It's a 30-point game. Nobody's trying to get hurt. Both teams are taking bad shots, and you're just
chucking up threes,
waiting for it to get inside of a minute for you to blow your whistle and be like, guys, the game's over. That's what that was. It was bad men's league basketball.
It was just a blowout.
Yeah, it was.
That's where I get I feel like it's. Listen, I've just said the NBA, the regular season is not great, but I also feel like that's cherry picking a clip.
100%.
I don't know. I mean, it is. It isn't.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left in a 30-point game.
It wasn't 2 minutes left. There's more than that, but
or how much time
it was the fourth quarter, but it was
fourth quarter, a 30-point game. I feel like you're gonna see a lot of that.
I just feel like all the NBA now is just chucking up threes. It's just tough to watch.
If you put on an NFL game or whoever, really any game that they're down 30 or whatever, or the equivalent in
college basketball, even though I'm not. You guys are much more. It's much more fun to watch.
Yeah,
because they're using the center more. The NBA right now is not fun to watch.
Also, it's shorter, which I think is
they'll
huge.
Be down.
They're 2-hour games.
Down 18,
massive.
They'll be down 18 with a minute. They're fouling. They try so hard, and I like the product because there is imperfections. They're not that good. The NBA is the 1%ers of the world, where you're holy shit, they're incredible. There's some fucking morons in college basketball.
But you also you're using your center more. You're using the paint more.
There's a lot of
right now. No one's using the paint. Just chuck, and it's this isn't fun. I don't like the NBA right now. I watch the playoffs, but the regular season is the drag.
Yeah, I still like the NBA. I think the NBA.
You love basketball,
but I think the NBA is an incredible product. The shot making in the NBA, you can't see anywhere else.
The skill level is insane.
Baseball home runs 10 years ago, you couldn't see anywhere else. But the product was horrible. It was 4-hour games. It was a drag, and I love baseball. It was painful.
I think an NBA
I think more than anything in the NBA, the thing that's fucked them is these fucking deals where you have to go through streaming services to watch your fucking team play, and it's leaps and bounds just to watch a game out of an 82-game season.
But every sport has that though. Why is NBA ratings so
the
bad?
MLB Apple TV on Friday nights a bad deal.
Yeah,
Peacock on other nights.
Yeah, it's dumb.
But baseball isn't. NBA right now is suffering big time, and most of their revenue comes in from TV. And I don't know what they're gonna do. It's a problem.
I mean, I said it on this before. I also think it's the lack of American stars.
100%.
Like the fact
Yeah,
the fact that Europeans have like are probably the 3 best players besides Tatum.
Even the draft last year, right? The 2 Frenchmen, top 3.
Right, which is
look at
great
the
for
NFL.
international.
But it's not great for American TV ratings.
Right.
Yep.
NBA's gonna have
is-
a massive problem when LeBron and Steph are out. Like just because those are 2 box.
Like you
office
saw it with
guys.
the Olympics. I read an article like the Olympics. Like you saw how many people still care about KD, LeBron, Steph. How many people tune into the Olympics? Because the 3 stars in the American
actually
market.
We're all on the,
Right.
alongside
You
of
have-
35.
Like Tatum, I hate to say it, but like Tatum does like Tatum. Like who else?
He has no
Ant-
aura. And they need They need Ant to go like deliver a chip or something.
You could
'Cause
stop.
he-
I know you're joking with the no aura, but you are right where it's like Tatum is. It's
People
more
don't
of a
gravitate to him
boring
the same
guy.
way. I'll take seriously. They don't gravitate to him that same way.
Yeah, because he's not entertaining for himself. Like Anthony Edwards is like he doesn't give a fuck. Entertaining guy.
Mike Trout with baseball. Mike Trout's a great player.
Horrible.
He doesn't move the needle for a lot of people.
Yes, but I think Dukes is right where it's like Jokic is like the best player in the NBA, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Luka's up there.
Luka,
fucking-
Giannis. I mean,
Jokic fucking hates basketball. He wants to go to Serbia and ride a horse. Like he doesn't care at all. Where you're like, I know this is stupid, but like the NFL, right? They're obviously it's way different. One game on a Sunday, you know more about.
An
But it's
event.
like it's stupid to say, but like Travis Kelce, people are interested in what he's doing outside of football that gravitates you to watch the Chiefs. You know what I mean? And it's also like Josh Allen, what he's doing outside of it. He's marrying an actress, and it's like I don't know. It's just more things like you need to be more personable and like more like gravitating towards them. Where it's like, who is the star that you're gravitating towards right now in the NBA?
Things are cyclical, though.
And LeBron is.
They're all old. But like,
Yeah.
things are like. Remember when Jordan retired the first time or the second time even, and then like, what are we gonna do in the NBA? Like, right? Like, a lot of people didn't like old people didn't like Iverson, and there's a lot of like, who's our next star? And then Kobe rose, and Shaq rose, and like, all right, we got these guys, and then people gravitated to them. But I think it ebbs and flows. I think the NBA certainly will come back. I just think that right now you got to figure it out, and they have to make the game better, less threes,
Maybe Cooper
and
Flag
maybe a
can
shorter
save the
regular
NBA.
season, like you said, Ev.
Oh, Cooper
you see,
Flag.
they'll never do that.
I know. It's too much
Ticket sales,
money.
but if the games would just mean so much more if there was like, or even if they made even if they made the playoff series like less games, like do both kind of, but they'll just never do.
They'll never do that. So much
I'm
money.
literally just proposing things to take money out of their pockets that are already dwindling.
Somebody asked this, and I agree. I don't know what's your problem with like centers, like that the game doesn't revolve around centers. Like, why do you care so much about like centers having their
It's a much more
back-to-basket?
interesting game when it's focused less on threes and more about like working inside. Like you see better defense, you see more rebounds, you see just a more exciting, in my opinion, a more exciting game.
I think it's just an opinionated take.
No, of course, every
I
takes
think-
an opinionated take, Phil. No shit.
Because I do see the side of it, like the skill base. Because even I've had the like talking like college and pros. Like if you watch like straight college till the season's over and then turn on NBA, it feels like a different sport. Because the shot making is just so unbelievable.
guys don't
like,
miss.
Yeah, like
you literally
do
like
not.
don't
In the
miss.
NBA, they don't
but,
miss
But there's
open
part of that
shots.
where like I could
Don't
see
miss.
for like on the NBA side where it's like you're sitting there basically making argument that you want to watch shittier basketball. And I'm someone who genuinely prefers watching college more. But as an NBA person, like I totally see where they're like, so you want them to just miss more shots? That would be better. You know what I mean?
know.
Like that's literally like it's kind of what you're saying. And like I said, I agree with you. It's like a weird line to kind of like teeter. Of like these guys are so skilled and the game is so much more skilled than it's ever been. The shot making is incredible. The passing is incredible.
You don't even see,
the
you don't even see
spacing-
defense anymore.
Spacing is.
I do agree with that. I just think the offense is so good, but
Well,
like
that's what I
the
was gonna say. I think the offense has gotten so much better that it's
Oh,
almost,
it's right.
It's almost hard to play good defense when these guys can just make contested 30-footers like
Crazy.
consistently. Like, what can you do about that?
I'm also not trying to change your opinion, but one thing I find fascinating about your take on the NBA and why you don't like it is it seems like you want less points, which is
Yeah, I do.
I'm fine with that. But when you talk about the NFL, you talk about how much you like the more scoring, how last night's
I
game
know.
was. So like it's just not like I'm like trying to contradict you. I'm just saying like it is like in my opinion like when these like these NFL games go up so high scoring, I'm like wow the game has changed so much, and then like that's something where I don't hate or dislike, but you going off the NBA, I don't know, I found it.
I also love a good pitcher's duel in baseball. And other people might like, slugfest, the 16 to 12 game. I like the 2-1 game better. But like it's every sport by sport base. But I just think the game where you're using the center, using all 5 guys, you're playing defense, you're controlling the paint. That is a more interesting brand of basketball to me. I'm also old.
I'm gonna keep.
No, you're not.
No.
One of us will say that. He won't.
Older.
I'm going to keep beating the drum on this. The NBA Cup, the reward for it should be a guaranteed playoff spot. Make those games in December and November mean something. I want to see the Charlotte Hornets playing for their playoff lives in December, knowing that they don't have no chance of making the playoffs in April.
I don't hate that idea.
What seed do you give them, though?
At worst, 6.
Okay.
I think if you win the Maui, if we're on this, I think if you win the Maui Invitational, you should get an auto bid.
I completely agree. If you win the 7th place game now, you should get the auto bid.
I think you should at least be guaranteed a first 4 spot.
Especially if you're from Ohio.
Well, if you if you win the 7th place game, you also get an auto bid.
Yeah. There are some good slates tonight. Speaking of picks, Clemmer, what do you like tonight?
Let me pull it up here. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I have a basketball game here that I like a lot. It is the Bucks game. So the Bucks are on a pretty big winning streak here. I think they've won 6 in a row.
So they started dismal, right?
They started horribly.
Horrible.
And they have they're only favored by 4. I bet it's last night at least. They're only favored by 4 against the Pistons, who they're playing better than last year for sure, but they've been kind of up and down. I think the Bucks are really red hot right now, so I'm on the Bucks -4.
Okay. I like Cincy -3.5 against Nova. I think this Nova team is bad. Cincy is pretty good. I'll take Cincy to pull that out. I also take High Point -1.5.
I like the Warriors +5.
Okay. I like High Point tonight. Ev, what are you on?
I think this college basketball play legitimately like one of the smelliest plays I've ever seen, so you got to take it. Clemson +2.
Who they got?
It's Kentucky.
Ooh.
Kentucky's the number 4 team in the country. Only laying 2 to an unranked Clemson team. Clemson team, it's good.
Where is it?
Good guards. I believe it's either in Clemson or it's neutral.
Probably neutral.
I'd guess neutral, but I just think this game, Clemson made a deep run last year. Good guards. Yeah, give me Clemson +2.
Marty.
I'm completely with you. I'm on Clemson as well. I think it's at Clemson.
Which I like. It makes me like it even more.
ACC Men's Challenge. I think
it usually is a home. That's what I was gonna say. I knew they either were
John
home
Coliseum?
or neutral at worst. What?
Little John Coliseum sounds.
I believe
like
that's Clemson. Yeah.
Clemson. I'm with you on Clemson. So I'm a Clemson. I have. Hold your nose, Villanova +3.5 against Cincinnati.
You're going to go opposite me, huh?
Yeah, I think it's just like why Cincinnati.
It's a low line, yeah.
Cincinnati's undefeated. Cincinnati.
Low line.
Villanova's awful. They have been so bad. It's the only but also I could see Cincinnati beating them by 10. Like
rat.
It's definitely a rat. Iowa -5.5, and then I'm going with Dayton -24.5.
Okay.
All right, Dayton.
Dukes, what do you got?
My best bet of the night. Sorry, Bosco. UNC Greensboro +1.5.
+1.5. Okay.
I like High Point too. I think UNCG is very, very sneakily good. I've taken them a couple times this year. UTM +6, Princeton +5.5, and I just want to see what I'm getting this BC line at. Where the fuck is BC +4.5 against South Carolina?
All right.
You know what? I'm also going to take this one. I just saw this when it popped up when I was looking at the board. Tennessee -18.5. Want to talk about a team that could challenge Auburn for the SEC and Alabama? Tennessee. That's not a fluky team at all.
No. Great during the regular season.
And they also could just smash you with that defense.
They can. The defense just suffocates you.
They got that guy Chase. I don't know his last name, but
yeah,
he's a good offensive player. He's kind of like their Dalton Connect from last year. Like can carry the offensive load.
Yeah, so watch your games also tonight, 8 o'clock, Surviving Barstool on all platforms.
Yes, check it out.
You got Clemmer and Rico in it.
Yes, both of us on it. So check that out. Obviously, the show is unbelievable every year. They say it's better than the next. Check it out. It's unbelievable, 8 o'clock tonight. I believe the uncensored version is on Rumble.
It is.
Yep.
So there's some extra bonuses there. Check that out. Yak is up next.